StoryLine with Nick Eatman.
What is up, everyone? Cowboys Storyline. It is Friday, January the 5th. Moving right along here. Last day of the week before the Cowboys go to D.C. Cowboys taking on the Washington Commanders. I just was walking down to do the show, and security guard stopped me and said, looks like there's going to be snow in Washington. I have no idea if that's true or not, but that's what he heard, and I'm bringing it to the air. So I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if it matters. But you know what? We talk weather around here, so it does matter, actually. I mean, the Cowboys play differently when it's 72 degrees and indoors at the stadium and when they're outdoors and grass and cold weather and wind and rain and maybe snow. But, yeah, doesn't matter. Got to get the job done. Get it done. You're the NFC East champions. And what a weird stat that is, that the NFC East has not had a repeat winner in the division since 2004. It's been 20 seasons since there's been a back-to-back winner. And actually, the Eagles had won it 4 years in a row. And then from there, it's been somebody different every single year. It's just rotated. You haven't had consecutive winners, and the Cowboys can take care of business, then that streak will continue because the Eagles will not win it. They won it last year. But, yeah, they obviously can win it. If the Giants, they beat the Giants, and the Cowboys lose to Washington, then the Eagles would win the NFC East, and the Cowboys would jump to 5th. And they won't have a home game probably at all. So, when McCarthy said the playoffs start now, the playoffs start now. All right. Speaking of the game, we've got Shelby in Virginia that called a couple days ago and has 2 tickets to the game that he's going to do a giveaway on here. We're going to do a trivia question. So we've come up with a trivia question, and this is how this is going to work. We got the text line here, 817-290-3298. That's what you can text your answer in. It's not really, and you got to be going to the game. Like, you got to be able to go. If you're going to get this question right, you're going to be the winner, you got to go to the game. So that's the thing. So you're in that Northeast area, you're up there, Baltimore, Virginia area, you're going to the game. Cool, you can get it. All right. So here's the question. Yeah. What player led the team in punt return yards for the Cowboys, but in the first game of the season, he scored a touchdown against the Cowboys as a punt returner? First game of the year, punt return touchdown against the Cowboys, ended up leading the Cowboys in punt return yards that season. Who's the player? What's the year? Let's get started. Joe in Stamford.
Hey, morning, Nick. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you doing?
I have an idea on that, but of course I'm not going to say anything.
Not going to the game?
No. Yeah, no, there's no way I'm getting to the game.
Yeah. All right.
Speaking of that forecast, I'm looking at it right now. Game time, let's see here, 45 degrees, 2% chance of precipitation, 12-mile-per-hour wind. So I don't think the snow thing.
Go play football.
Right.
That's it.
There's no snow.
Just go play some football. And if anyone would know, it would be Chris Beam, who's going to be down there for 4 hours,
yes,
all
I know,
bundled
and
up.
there's no snow.
See, I'm going to be like, well, hold on. I'm in Washington. They don't even have snacks. But anyways, we'll just be like, oh, cool.
Bag of pretzels.
Seems cold, but that I bring. So, what do you got, Joe?
Is the box heated there in Washington?
Yeah, it's not that bad. It's not.
Oh,
it's not that bad. It's fine.
Good. Right on. Well, a couple things. So 2 years ago, I was in D.C. in October. My wife and I went, and of course, I wear Cowboys gear everywhere. I don't think I have much of anything else to wear. I don't think it's on purpose. It just happened.
That's what you have.
Yeah, exactly. I have to say, like you were talking about the Cowboys fans, I probably got stopped 20 times a day from Cowboys fans in D.C. and in Virginia. It was crazy. I thought that I was going to be. My wife was like, "Are you crazy? You're wearing that?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm wearing it."
It's not Philly.
And I got stopped a ton saying "Go Cowboys." It blew my mind.
Yeah.
Second thing is this curse deal. I'm not weird like that, but I don't know. It's got a sort of a symmetry of feel to it. Can you imagine that what happened right after Jimmy, with the sort of the events of happening and what happened at the end of the game, plus the Eagles losing, and now we have a chance to end up in San Francisco for the NFC Championship game like we did for the first Super Bowl in the 90s. I mean, it just sort of feels right.
Yeah.
Maybe it was true. Maybe there was a curse.
Yeah, I'm not buying that, but I'll tell you this. If the Cowboys go and they go to San Francisco for the championship game and it's muddy and sloppy and they end up winning the game and Jimmy's there because of Fox and he says, how about them Cowboys? Okay.
We'll be okay with that.
I'll go for it. Yeah, fine. Curse. And then J-Ron Curse intercepts the ball and wins the game and the curse is lifted. Yes, I'm going for that.
Right on. I don't think we should probably have a lot of issues. I really would like to see the Cowboys just win going away this week. We don't need to mess around with these guys, and I feel like that's what's going to happen. Anyway, safe travels, good luck, and on to the playoffs.
All right, thank you. Appreciate that. Joe in Stamford, one of the originators, the first callers really ever on Cowboys Storyline, and then you guys all jumped in and flooded the lines, which totally appreciate. I love it. And we don't hear from him as much. But it's okay. It's good to hear from Joe in Stamford, Texas, right near Abilene. That's where my wife's from. And Stamford, Texas, Stamford Bulldogs. They thought they were going to win state. Didn't happen this year. Had a good season, though. Zach in Atlanta is our next caller.
Yeah. Hey, good morning, Nick. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Doing well. I called last week for the first time, and I was trying to get the good vibes going.
Did we give you Here We Go?
Yes, I got the Here We Go last week. Thank
Good.
y'all for that. Beam was on it.
There you go. There you go, Chris.
Yes, sir. So I feel like things are a little delicate right now. I don't think we've been playing our best ball starting from that Bills game. You got the Dolphins and Lions, kind of playoff-type atmosphere games. And, you flip a play in the Dolphins game, we win that. Of course, the Lions game, there's all the silliness at the end of that, and we came out with a win. But, man, you said it at the top of the show. The game this weekend is huge because, again, we lose, Philly wins, the script completely flips. And, we're excited about 2 home games right now in the playoffs. But, man, this thing could switch on a dime this weekend, and I don't think that we've been playing our best ball. Granted, it's been scrappy. We've had a chance to come out on the winning side of a few of these, but I'm just a little nervous, a little hesitant. Maybe that's the Cowboys fan in me. Over the past 20, 25 years of my fandom, I've just seen the ball bounce the wrong way too many times. And so, we need to win this weekend. And control our own destiny. We need to go win the game. That's what we need to do this weekend.
Only thing.
Exactly. And I think a question I have 2, but I'll start with this one. I have a couple of friends who are big Packers fans, and they worship the ground that Aaron Rodgers walks on. And they blame McCarthy for a lot of kind of the playoff, sustained success and appearances, but they only made 1 Super Bowl, which is a lot more than other teams can say, certainly us as the Cowboys. But I don't know. Again, just the past couple of weeks and some of the game management makes me a little nervous.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on McCarthy? You've seen Parcells, Garrett, and now McCarthy. Campo before that. But what makes McCarthy stand apart from some of the other regimes? And then second thought is a player, Marion the Barbarian Barber. Do you have any stories about him? One of my favorite players to watch growing up. And so thanks for taking my call, Nick.
Right.
I'll listen and hang up.
I'll do this to kind of pump up our own documentaries that we do, and it kind of surprises me a little bit. We've done these documentaries. Deep Blue is the title series for 9 seasons now. We're working. This will be our 10th year coming up, and it still surprises me that some people haven't seen them, or some of the things that we've done. We did this past year class of 2005. And Spears, Canty, Burnett, of course, D. Ware, and got a few of them to sit around and talk about Marion Barber, who was in that class as well. Really the only offensive player in that. And so I thought they did a great job. And then our team, our team of production team to put it together did a really good job with that. So class of 2005, if you haven't seen it, I think it's pretty good. That's what I can think of about Barber. Story-wise, I mean, everyone remembers some of the runs. I mean, the 2-yard run in New England where he went backwards and took 8 tackles and all that stuff. He was really a great player, but sadly, I remember Derek and I went in the old studio talking about him as a young player, going, he can't continue to run like that. Like, he's going to hurt himself, and so. And he did, over the course of his career, and then his tragic ending to his life. But as a football player, man, he was special. He was something about him. He was so big and strong, but he was elusive as well. And here's the thing: players loved him. The players loved him. And that's the thing about Marion. And great player, great teammate. That's checking the box off right there. For McCarthy. Game management. I mean, go look at these games. I mean, there haven't been a lot of games like this year. I'm not giving him a pass. I mean, he's a veteran coach, and that's why you got him in, because he's been in these games in the past, as a play caller as well. You go look at this season, though, there haven't been a lot of games where they're close, and the Cowboys, he's got the ball in offense, and the 2 times we've really seen it, it's questionable. I think personally, it seems like he's just more impatient of let's just get this game over with. We got it right here. We make the play. We win the game. It's over. And when it doesn't work, then you're left with the consequences. And the Cowboys were able to win the game. But I mean, both times it was really, really close. I think he does a really good job preparing the team throughout the week, gets them ready to play. So I think, and he's been very, very consistent in what he's done, better than any coach we've seen since Jimmy Johnson. I don't think – the Cowboys haven't had 3 seasons of 11 wins since Jimmy Johnson did it in his final 3 years, 91, 92, 93. That's the last time any coach in Cowboys history has done that. So I think he's got to get some credit for that. But obviously what we care about is, right now this team and getting them ready to go. I think he'll be fine. But he knows they can't run the football, and he's trying to do what they do best. Sometimes at the end of the game, though, that's where it gets questionable. Is that the smartest thing to do? So, all right, Brian in Colorado is our next caller.
Hey, Nick, here we go.
Here we go. First caller? First time?
First time.
All right, cool. I love you just saying that. Forget the first time caller. Just hey, give me my here we go.
Oh, yeah. Real quick, just wanted to touch on kind of how the seeding is going to play in our favor this year. The last couple of years we've been in the playoffs. 2 years ago, the Niners were real hot at the 6th seed and came in and beat us, ended up losing to the Rams in the NFC Championship game. Obviously, last year we had another 12-win season and had to go on the road, and I just kind of feel like this year it's fallen in our favor in lining up, which is great. But one thing I found interesting, the only game I've been to this year was the game against the Rams, and the Rams are obviously sitting the majority of their players this week, so therefore McVay doesn't care who they play, whether it be the Cowboys or the Lions. And I kind of felt like that was interesting. I looked back at the box score from that Rams-Cowboys game, and they didn't have Kyron Williams, but Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp had 17 targets and 7 catches, so they were shut down. But anyways, I just felt like that was interesting that McVay really doesn't care if he's going at Detroit or at Dallas.
Yeah.
And so I just felt that was interesting. But anyways, I obviously the Cowboys being at home, they should be able to win either way. But because if the Packers win and the Rams lose, the Packers will be the 6th.
Yeah.
and play Detroit, and the Rams will come back to Dallas, hopefully for a beatdown. But anyways, I just felt like that's kind of interesting play by McVay.
Well, you
not
also
worry about
worry
about seeding.
Yeah, and I mean health is most important. I mean there. I don't know what they think from a matchup standpoint. I mean I would rather go to if I'm the Rams, I would rather go to Detroit than to the Cowboys, who already beat you, pretty handily, and some of the personnel. I mean, it'd be an interesting dilemma. I mean, interesting game with Detroit and the Rams. I mean, how ironic is that with these quarterbacks that were traded for each other, Goff and Stafford, and then come back and play in this game? So that will.
I'd love to see that.
Yeah, that will be a cool dynamic. But again, as one of the phrases people say a lot in life, is. Hey, coach your own team. We say that just in general. Like, if you get into someone's business, you coach your team, I'll coach mine. And in this particular case, Sean McVay, he's going to coach his team, and McCarthy and everyone else will coach theirs, and we'll see how it goes down. I mean, I think just being healthy is the most important thing, regardless of where you go. They're in, and I guess 6 and 7's really not that much of a difference, in his mind. Look at 2 and 3. They're 1 point decided, and they think, the Lions think that they should have won and all that. So it's pretty close between the Cowboys and the Lions, I think, right now, 2 and 3. If the Cowboys stay at 2.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, let's hope for a 38 to 10. 38 to 10 going into the fourth quarter here.
All right. That sounds good. That would be a good one. All right. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate that. Let's get a text message question here. No name. 517 number. I feel like some of these worried fans are a fumbled goal line ball and CD goal line fumble away from feeling much better about this offense. Positive turnover regression is coming back just in time for the playoffs. Okay. Sebastian in Savannah, Georgia. Sebastian.
What's going on? Happy New Year's, guys.
How you doing?
Shout out to Chris Beam. I'm doing really good. Shout out to Chris Beam, Jazzy, and everybody in the back that keep the wheels on, man.
Jazzy.
Yeah,
Utah.
Jazzy, Will.
I call her Utah.
You said Utah?
Utah Jazz.
Yeah. They actually had a pretty good game recently. So, hey, good morning, by the way.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing, Sebastian?
I'm doing good. This has been an amazing season. I know there's a lot of fans that teeter-totter, and that's perfectly fine. This has been an amazing season. If you look back at all of the Jason Garrett years, we could not fight through adversity.
Yeah.
This season, we lost a cornerback, a linebacker, your defensive tackle, and we're still managing to win games. Mike McCarthy has been a good head coach. He's not perfect. He's not Bill Belichick. He's not that meticulous. So I'm hoping that he got all of those little late-game woes out of his system before the playoffs. Yeah. Dak Prescott has been phenomenal this year, and you can see the influence that Mike McCarthy's system and his understanding of quarterbacks has on Dak and his play style. We have a brand new 88 because before now, like I called before, and I was like, if they're not going to play CD like an 88, don't pay CD. You pay that man, the guy that's showing up on these games right here. As far as content goes for the Cowboys, you guys have done a phenomenal job all year long. Love all the shows. This has quickly become my favorite show. And for the Washington Footskin Commanders or whatever they call themselves, I don't care who suits up. Go show them why they're not a playoff team.
Exactly.
Go lay them low, get ready for the playoffs, and let's try to keep this thing going all the way to the end. With that said, like Jimmy Johnson said, how about them Cowboys? Guys, let's go into this offseason and have just a banger of a postseason. Have a great day, Mr. Eamon.
All right, Sebastian.
How about them Cowboys?
There we go. Yeah, you get the ultimate. See, I like that right there. First time caller, here we go. You have a nice, good, strong call. Like you look like you could lead some men there, Sebastian. You're getting ready for battle. You get the Jimmy call. You get that. Is that Chris? Is that the one from this week, or is that
the one from this week?
Do it again.
Stand by.
How about them Cowboys?
Man,
it was clean.
It was so awesome too. It was awesome because, and I'm sure it wasn't accidental, but just the way, he took that mic and he started pacing, up and down the aisle of all the Ring of Honors.
I've got all three of his How About Them Cowboys. You want them all?
No, I'm good with that. Okay. That one's good. That was good. But he's going back and forth, and he ends up right there, right where he should be. Michael, Emmett, Troy, right there. And, it was awesome, and Haley and Woodson are also right there too, but they're like hugging him while he says that. It was awesome, man. That was he had a great speech. Jerry had a great speech. It was a really cool moment, and it did not get ruined by the end of the game. So cool. All right. Earlier in the show, if you just kind of missed it, we threw out a trivia question. On the line is two tickets for the game. Shelby in Virginia, one of our callers, called in earlier this week, and he's got 2 tickets to the game for free. You could go and sit with him, Washington and Dallas. The question was, you got to answer the trivia question right to get it. The question was, which player scored a touchdown against the Cowboys in week 1 of the season on a punt return and then ended up leading the team in punt returns later that year? So played against them, scored, later in the season, joined the Cowboys, led the team in punt returns. Which player did that? We do have a correct answer on the text line question. You can text it in 817-290-3298. We do have a question. Keep answering, though, just to make sure that this person's going to the game. You never know how that works. So get the questions in. If you think you know it, go ahead and send that in. So
can we tell people who it's not? I've got a lot of people.
I'll give you one. Let's go one player who it is not.
Okay, one. Okay,
just one.
One?
Yeah.
One is Deion Sanders.
It's not Deion Sanders.
It's not Deion Sanders. Just let everybody know that. I got one of those.
Okay. Just one. Okay.
It was Deion Sanders, 1994. No.
All right. That's fine. I mean, that's whatever. No, it wouldn't be Deion Sanders. But then again, we're older and we remember all that, and so when you're younger and you just think, oh yeah, he played for him and played against another team. Yeah, not it. We'll do it at the end of the show. We'll reveal it at the end of the show. Right now, there's just been one correct answer, and maybe he's getting some travel plans ready to go to Washington. All right, who's next here? Rod. Yeah, Rod in El Dorado, Kansas.
Hey, Nick, it's good to talk to you this morning. Thank you for taking my call.
No problem.
I called. Well, first of all, I want to tell you that soundbite of Jimmy Johnson belting out, "How about them Cowboys?" That sends chills down your spine every time you hear that.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
So kudos for Chris for bringing that up.
Yeah.
But hey, I called in a few weeks ago when it was looking like we were going to be the 5 seed, and I was talking to you about matchups between Tampa Bay and the other teams there in the South. But now that it's looking like we have the solid number 2, I just a couple questions related to that. Number one, is it most likely that we're going to have Green Bay in that first round? And if so, is that the matchup that we want? And then the second question, and I'll hang up and listen to your answer. I've been trying to figure this out on NFL Network and some of the other sources. Do they, depending on how the games go, and of course I want Cowboys to win their game, but like on the 3-6 matchup, let's assume that the 6th team makes the upset. Do they reset the matchup? So right now you've got one playing the 4-5. If that 6th team ended up winning, would they automatically go to play the number 1?
Yes, that's how that
what
works.
I thought.
Yeah. So technically, if you're the 5 seed, like let's say the Eagles are the 5 seed, and 5, 6, and 7 win. We don't want that because obviously that means the Cowboys lose. So, but if 5, 6, and 7 all won in the same round, 7 would go to 1. 5 gets a home game and plays number 6. That almost happened to the Cowboys. Well, I don't know what it almost happened, but the Cowboys last year, they were the 5 seed. They won at Tampa Bay. The Giants were the 6th. They won at Minnesota. The 7 was Seattle, at San Francisco. If they had won that game, Dallas would have got a home game against the Giants in the divisional round. So yes, they do reseed. Number one always gets the lowest seed. That's why they don't.
Okay.
It's not an NCAA March Madness bracket because it can't really do it that way. So it's hard to kind of see it on there. So yeah. Cool. All right. Well, I'll answer that part. Thanks for the call, Rod. Appreciate the call. Green Bay and the Rams. If Green Bay beats Chicago, so right now technically Green Bay is the 7 right now. If Green Bay beats Chicago and the Rams lose, then they'll flip. Green Bay would go to the 6. The Rams go to the 7. So, and if it stays the way it is right now, Green Bay. So both teams, win or lose. Chris might know that Seattle can jump back into this. They play Arizona on the road. So, Seattle also
they have a chance.
They have a shot as well, especially if, Green Bay loses to Chicago. So the Rams are in, though. The Rams are in the playoffs at the 6. That's why the last caller talked about, them sitting some players, including their quarterback, Matthew Stafford. But they're in at 6. They can be the 6 or the 7. Green Bay right now is the 7. It could be Seattle. Who I got asked this morning I did a 105.3 fan hit, and I was asked to rank the 3 teams that you would, from a Cowboys perspective, that you would want to play, or what would be the toughest. And I think, famous last words. The thing about it is, I remember 2 years ago watching the Rams and the 49ers in the last game of the season, cheering for the 49ers to beat the Rams. It would put the Cowboys as the 3rd seed, and they would play the 49ers at home. And I thought that was the best option. Be the 3, and then you would go play Tampa as the 2 if you can just beat San Francisco at home. And San Francisco was just an animal that the Cowboys couldn't handle. And I remember thinking, this team's 10-7 with Garoppolo. Who's worried about them? Cowboys should have been worried about them because they were better than them. So kind of get kind of tricky when you think, who do you want to play and all that kind of stuff. I tend, even though that game happened, I'd still tend to go down to quarterbacks. So I would take, I'd say let's watch them play Green Bay. I would take that one. Jordan Love, and he's had 30 touchdown passes, but he's never started a game in the playoffs, and that would be my first thought would be them, and then Seattle would be 2, and then the Rams would be 3, just because I know you beat them pretty bad, but they've got a quarterback that's won a Super Bowl. They've got receivers that are really good. You didn't play them when their running back Williams was there, and Aaron Donald's still on that other side. So that would be but then again, scared of any of them? No. Could any of them beat you? Yes. So take that for whatever it is. We're up to 3 winners. 3 winners so far. Chris,
Yes, sir.
Are any of these guys or girls that have won? Are they saying they're going to the game? They're saying they can go to the game. Have we got that far yet? Are you not,
I haven't gotten that far yet.
Not reaching out?
Do you want to go? I haven't reached out.
No. Do you know?
I can.
We'll wait.
This is what I'm going to do.
This is new.
Okay.
This is new for us. We're just kind of on the fly.
This is what I'm going to do. Okay.
Shelby threw a curveball, and we're kind of.
And this is what's going to happen. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the number 1 winner. This is what's going to happen. I'm going to try to get that winner on the phone.
Okay.
So if a winner is listening, and they get a call from the Dallas Cowboys, pick up. Don't send it to voicemail.
Take it. Don't
Take
do that to
call.
Chris. Yeah, take his call.
If you were in the draft and the phone says Dallas Cowboys, would you pick it up? Pick this time up.
Oh, are you comparing this to the Jerry call for the draft?
I wouldn't say that.
Close? Okay.
It's close. But we do have 3 winners right now.
That's awesome.
And by the way, all 3 winners are close to Washington, within driving distance.
Nice.
So that's
what
good.
we want. I'm sorry.
So they're all within driving distance,
yeah.
I would say.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. I didn't necessarily want Rob from Vegas calling in from Newton, Nevada.
I don't know. Vegas has a lot of PJs, so private jets.
Private jets. I'm sorry.
That's what a PJ is. Private jet.
I thought it was I thought it was pajamas. Okay, let's go. Dylan. No, my bad. Michael in Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Hey, I heard the end of that. Let me ask you, any chance the Lions could play the Rams in the playoffs? That would be interesting.
Yeah.
If they traded quarterbacks and everything.
Mm-hmm. We just mentioned that a little bit earlier. Yeah.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, no, but that would be an intriguing twist of irony, I guess, if that happens. I mean, that's the way it would sit right now. If the Rams win, I mean, that's what's going to be interesting with the Rams and the 49ers. Like, who's playing? You know, I mean, and I think the Rams are sitting some guys, but 49ers probably will also. So, if the Rams win, they stay at the 6, and then they would go to Detroit if the Cowboys lose and the Eagles lose, then Detroit would jump to the 2. And I'm sorry, I don't know what happens if the Eagles win and Detroit win. I don't know who's got the tiebreaker between Detroit and Philly, but you know what? No one cares about that because the Cowboys are going to win, right?
Yeah, 100%. 45-6.
Oh, wow. That'll be fun if that happens. 45-6 on the road in the
45-6.
Do it.
Aubrey only gets one field goal. The rest touchdown.
I like it. That'd be great.
Now, I saw something online last night, and so I Googled, found a couple of sources to make sure it wasn't just something somebody was saying. They were saying that Goodell could actually overturn that Cowboys win against the Lions, that he could initiate an investigation. There's no chance of that, is it?
So what is he? Is he going to say that Aubrey is not? The Cowboys are not going to get it past the CD, who they haven't stopped, for 30 yards over the middle, and Aubrey's going to hit a 61-yard field goal? Like he's going to predict that that's not happening?
Yeah, I know. It was on Instagram, and then I Googled to get some, and found some sources, and I was just like, there's no way. I mean,
it's like the thrift shop. All sales are final.
I mean, you'd have to go back and just play it right there, But I want all the fans back in there again. You can't do that. You can't. No, I mean, and the NFL's not changing their rules. They've said it. They've made it clear. Like they sent a memo to the rest of the teams saying, make sure that you are clear when you talk to the ref about what it is. See, the people keep thinking the Lions didn't make a mistake. They did make a mistake. They made a mistake because they heard that the wrong player was eligible and they didn't do anything about it. It's like I keep saying, if you place an order at a restaurant and then they repeat it back to you wrong, that's up to you if you want to just say, well, I guess I'll eat onions then. I mean, I guess. No, get it right. You made the order. Get it right. And they didn't. So they messed up. How could Goodell change anything? So
they probably thought, hey, we got him. They're thinking the other guy's eligible.
They're like, yes, the ref said it right. Another thing, get the guys out of the ref's face. Like that could be the only thing I could see them saying is, you don't need to be talking to the ref. You're going over there if you're not doing anything.
They sent 3 offensive linemen
3 guys
to the ref.
And they sent 58, and 68 was coming. 58, 68.
Yeah, it was 58, 68, and 70.
All right, let's go to Dylan in Northport, Florida. Dylan.
Hey, Nick. How's it going?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, good, man. Good. I want to talk about the Cowboys' offense moving forward into the playoffs here, what they need to do.
Okay.
But before I do that, man, I just want to say thank you. There was like a top 5 moment in my life when you, the StoryLine Twitter page, sharing my my Twitter handle there. That was really cool, man. I've been listening to you for a long time, 15, 20 years. I don't know. It seems like forever.
Yeah.
And
you have your own podcast, right?
Yes, sir.
And So what's it called?
It's Lord Dilly, Lorddyly.
Lord Dilly.
That beer commercial, Dilly, right?
You're not gonna like overtake us and take all our followers, right?
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
Nah.
Cool.
Nah. No, but I was going to say, man, I've been with you for 15, 20 years, however long it's been, and for you to watch that and share, man, that means a lot to me. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I mean, I think it's amazing, and it helps me honestly. I know you got a question here, but it helps me put things in perspective sometimes of what we get to do, like what this job is. Sometimes you get lost in different things, and you think you're having a bad day or whatever it is. But like people like you do these kind of things for fun, and just because it's like, I want to talk Cowboys, I want to do that, and you have a job, and then you go home, and then you do that, and like we get to do that. So sometimes things like that put things in perspective for me. Is that, hey, people would kill for moments like this because they're doing these things on their quote free time, if that is such a thing.
Yeah, it's a great way to offload some steam and to get your thoughts out. My family's all up in New York, and, my wife and kids, they don't really watch football. So I got nobody to talk to about this stuff. So, I get to call in and talk to you, which is great. And then I get to, talk to whoever the heck wants to listen to me out there in the ether. So
that's cool.
Man, I appreciate that.
Cool.
Cowboys offense, they just need to embrace at this point who they are. They're a passing team. And against some of these more difficult teams they're going to face in the playoffs, they need to embrace their passing attack. It's becoming like a kind of a pick your poison here. You got the top three guys with Lamb and Cooks and Ferguson, but then you got guys like Turpin who they can throw in at any point and take the lid off. You got obviously Gallup and Tolbert who have been good or decent enough. So I don't want to see a lot of 2nd and 11, 2nd and 12. If the running game's not working, don't force it. I know there's a balance that you want to have. But at some point, you got to say, let's let Dak cook here. If he's going to throw the ball 45 times and be successful, well, let's do it. So that's all I want to say, and I want to see some more of that. Oh, real quick, too. Honorable mention for Comeback Player of the Year, Jordan Lewis.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Thanks for the call. Jordan Lewis is the winner of the Ed Block Courage Award, which they give every year. Every team has a winner for players that have come back from an injury. And his injury, like, This was a serious injury. I mean, like more than a lot of people thought. That this was one. It wasn't even from what I was told. Wasn't even a real. It was rare for football. So it's more of an accident type foot injury, and for him to come back shows a lot. And he never wavered on that. We'll have a story on that today, and some quotes from the trainers and things like that have really helped him come along. And the best part is that he's playing really, really good football right now, too. He's not just coming back and limping around or whatever. He's coming back. He's playing well and really, really helping. All right. Hold on. I'm just working on this trivia stuff here. All right. Looks like we do have a winner. We do have a winner here, and we're going to see if we can get him on the line. Before we do that, though, Chris, can we go to Dave in Florida?
Yes.
Hello.
What's up, Dave? You there?
How you doing, Nick? Good to hear you. Yeah.
All right. What do you got?
I'm a flooring installer. I listen to your show. I listen to all the shows on the app, Cowboys app. Love it every day, man. And just lately what I'm hearing is, who do we want to play? Who do we want to play? My statement's short and sweet. We want to play against ourselves. Hold ourselves accountable, no errors, penalties, and we win. Short and sweet.
Can you beat anybody doing that? I mean, like, do you think if the Cowboys did that, played their game, and didn't make mistakes, you think they could beat anyone, even the Niners?
I think they'll give them a run for their money for sure. I think they can, but it's just every year it's the same. I see it so up and down, and penalty.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. I mean, and with the Niners, you're going to have to, and I'm not getting ahead, guys. They play Washington this week, and we get that. And the same with Washington. They better hit them in the mouth. I mean, I'm thinking take the ball. Couple reasons if you win the toss. The reason why is, number one, they got to get ahead. You got to get ahead. Number two, the difference between 4:25 in Washington and 6:15 in Washington is going to be a lot colder, darker, maybe windier. Who knows? But I mean, if the weather is going to be any kind of issue, it's probably going to be later on as it goes. Get the ball, go down there, score, get the lead, get on Washington and get any doubt out of their mind that they could be spoiler and all that. So I think that's the key for this game, jumping on them earlier. Okay, we got Jeff in North Carolina. Is he ready to go?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Jeff.
How's it going, Nick?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, man. I just had a quick question. I wondered if the Cowboys would be interested in taking a look at I can't remember his first name. I think his last name was Buggins, the guy from
Detroit.
Released this week. Yeah, he's like 330 pounds, and I know Brian had really, when he was previewing, I guess, the lines going into last week, he thought a lot of them. Now, he may have already been picked up by somebody, I thought, keep adding to our depth. That would help.
Yeah, I honestly I saw that too. I was a little surprised because I thought he was a guy that was kind of in their mix. The first question always is why. Why?
Right.
Everybody likes good football players. So is it? Do they just have that many? I mean, do they have just so many players they can't keep? So something's going on there. Not sure why.
Right.
So you always have to kind of figure that out.
I think they had somebody come off the IR, and that's why they had to let somebody go. But but you're right. You always question why.
I think you got to look at it. And this is the time of year to look at players like that, and see. For next year, hey, get him on the team, and maybe he plays, and then see, if he's somebody you can keep, for next season. Your tackle, Hankins is, I don't know if I think he's got a 1-year deal, and Gallimore's deal's up, and so I mean, I don't know anything about the Bugs who you're talking about, but I'm just saying,
right.
I mean, if he could play, but again, got to figure out why. What it is about you not being there. But I like what you're thinking. I mean, that's thinking all the way. I don't know if would help so much this year. Maybe it does, but it would be maybe a futures thing. So,
right. And I was also one of your earlier calls today was that talking about Marion Barber, and I can't remember the whole story, but I remember too Jesse Holly when Marion passed. He told a good story about how Marion had helped him, before I guess in the process of him trying to get into the NFL, and it's just he just thought so much of Marion, and I know his teammates. I know you talked about his teammates, how much they love Marion. I really enjoy it. I have a Marion Barber jersey. I have many jerseys, but I do have a Marion Barber jersey, and I always just love watching him play, and he's gone too soon.
Yeah, definitely. And the way he played, that's the sad irony is that the reason why he was a fan favorite and a favorite probably in the locker room is he played with a style that everybody loved, but unfortunately, it seemed to kind of get the best of him as well.
Yes, sir.
All right, Jeff. Thank you for the call. Awesome. You guys have been great today. Really, really good calls and good attitude, good spirits. One more thing about Marion. You said about Jesse. The thing with Jesse, and he'll say this. I mean, Jesse got here in 2010. And, we talked about this the other day, from a reality TV show. I mean, that had never happened before. And so he gets here. I mean, imagine what people are thinking about Jesse Holly when he gets here. The players, the veterans looking at him like, what are we doing here? This is a joke. And Barber's been around. This is his, 4th or 5th year. And I think, some of the players said, no, hey, it doesn't matter how you get here. You're a player. You're a baller. Let's go, And he's talked about that. There were some guys that kind of gave him some hard times, and there's others that didn't. And I'm sure Marion was one of those, kind of put him under his wing, and you don't ever forget that. All right, we started off the show. We said in case you've joined us a little bit later, we started off the show by throwing out a trivia question, and the winner of the question gets 2 tickets to the Washington game this week, the Cowboys Commanders game Sunday. Shelby, one of our callers from Virginia, offer the tickets up as a giveaway. I think he's got 4. He's got 2 extras. They'll sit with him. So you had to answer the question correctly, and you had to also be available to go to the game. So, and I tried to come up with a question that was not something you could just Google easily. Maybe you did, maybe you did. I don't know. It doesn't sound like it was that easy. The question was, what player returned a punt for a touchdown against the Cowboys in week 1 of a season, but ended up leading the team in punt return yards that season? Got cut and ended up joining the Cowboys. That was the question. We've had answers of Deion Sanders and Isaiah Stanback and Lucky Whitehead, Dwayne Harris. But let's go to the line. Let's go to Mark in Philadelphia.
Hey, Nick.
Hey, Mark. How's it going?
Pretty good. How you doing?
I'm good. So I got a question for you.
Sure.
What player returned a punt for a touchdown to beat the Cowboys in week 1 of a season, but ended up leading the team in punt returns later that season?
Derek Shepard.
Derek Shepard. That is the answer. That is the winner. You are the winner, Mark, from Philly.
Thank you. Opening day, 1989.
1989 against the Saints. 28-0. The Saints won. Derek Shepard. Not sure what happened there. I guess that wasn't good enough for the Saints to keep around. But back then in 1989, you know, if somebody got cut, Cowboys were like, let's go. Bring him in. So, did you remember the game or that season or look it up?
Yeah, I remember the game. It was on here in Philadelphia, actually. I do remember that game. Yep.
Yeah.
And I remember the season. And the one game that they won that year was against the Washington Redskins, and that game was on ESPN.
Yep, sure was. Sure was. Derek Shepard was a player. I mean, I grew up in Oklahoma, and he was a receiver for Oklahoma. And by the way, I think Derek Shepard's no longer with us, RIP, but he was a receiver at Oklahoma when, they didn't throw. They just ran the football. So it's hard to kind of tell if he was a good player or not, in college to the NFL. But, shifty punt returner, made some plays. And, he ended up, he was a decent player for the Cowboys that season. It was a bad season for them. But, they picked him up off waivers, I guess. And, and he was the guy. So good stuff.
Yep.
How you doing, Mark? You got any question about this game? I mean, so now we're going to get you contacted with Shelby. You're going to get to go. What are you going to be looking for?
Well, I usually go to every game in Washington. I drive up there. I go to Meadowlands too and see them play. But I'm just looking for a win. I mean, I just want to be in the building. What do you do?
Yeah. All right. How do you? Is this your first call?
Yes, first time.
All right. Nice. Appreciate that. Well, wow, yep. This is working out. This is working out great. Then, thanks for the call. And
yep.
All right. Well, we'll get you situated here.
Stay on the line, Mark.
Yeah, stay on the line if you can. Here, we're gonna end the show. Sorry, a little bit of a show today. Show today. But Chris, good stuff, man. Thank you for monitoring the text lines there and the questions. Lucky Whitehead, Dwayne Harris, Deion got a lot of answers there. But the answer is Derek Shepard. Derek Shepard, punt return touchdown against the Cowboys, ended up leading the team in 1989. All right, good week, good show. Got 10 callers, giving away some tickets. A lot of good fun stuff. All right, we'll be back Monday. Yeah, we'll be back Monday. We'll see what happens here. Where the Cowboys are playing. We're going to know a lot more about this season and this team hearing about the next time we do this show on Cowboys Storyline. Can't wait for it. We'll see you guys then. For Chris Beam, I'm Nick Eatman. See you next time on Storyline.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!